Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and I talk a lot about Salesforce. Today we're going to be going over 5 Salesforce adjacent certifications that you can get to help your Salesforce career. So Salesforce certifications are really awesome, but let's be honest, they're not the only things that you need to be successful in an IT world. Other certifications will be helpful even if you want to only be Salesforce for the rest of your career. These certifications that I'm going to list are actually going to be more of certification families, where there's like a sliding scale of different certifications that you can get that will help you, and I'll list out why they'll help you. So these are going to be in no particular order as far as which one's going to be best for you, because I don't know your personal situation, but these are going to be great. So try and think of which ones would be helpful to where you want to go, or which ones you could use now in your job, or what would cross over between your job and what you're learning in your job and what you need to do. So first one is going to be Kapata. So Kapata is a DevOps tool, or a developer operations tool, and it helps with cycle management and release management. So that's a lot of words. What does that mean? So essentially they help you with different versioning of your Salesforce org when you are working on developing and then you want to push something into production from a sandbox when it's fully tested and ready to go, or you want to do branch management. This tool would be great for you to use and to get a certification in to, I guess, just be able to help your team out a little bit more. This is going to be great for larger organizations. So if you're working as a consultant or you're working in-house and you guys are working on an agile framework where you need to push things into production quite frequently, then Kapata would be great. If you're working more at a smaller firm and it's just maybe you as a solo admin, or maybe 1 or 2 of you as admins and you don't really have any developers or business analysts, then this certification won't be too easy for you to pick up, and it won't be too useful in your job right now. That's not to say that you couldn't get the certification to go into a different job where you were using that, but that's just kind of my thoughts. So this is going to be great for of course, developers, architects, and business analysts, especially if you're working in a larger organization or you're working at a consultancy. Kapata has multiple certifications, so you could get the fundamentals, and then if you wanted to continue on and show a greater depth of knowledge for that tool, you could then go ahead and do that. All right, the next one is going to be AWS, or Amazon Web Services. So this is going to be kind of where, so Amazon Web Services is a cloud tool where you're able to store a lot of data and you're able to host things. So as far as how it connects with Salesforce is that you're able to integrate these two things and kind of move data around to report or to bring in or out of Salesforce. Much like Kapata, this isn't going to be used too much if you are working at a Salesforce at a small firm, unless they are wanting to move stuff in and out of Salesforce for the product that they have. But if you are working for or towards a larger organization that had a large Salesforce instance, or you're working in a consultancy capacity, then this would be a really great certification to have to be able to connect those two systems. If you were wanting to work towards this certification, I would also recommend, if you wanted to do a more Salesforce certification, I would do the integration architect, which would then help you on both ends of the spectrum when you're integrating to and from Salesforce and AWS. The next certification is going to be HubSpot. Again, this one has multiple certifications, so you're able to start on the lesser certifications and maybe get more if that's something that interests you. HubSpot is another CRM like Salesforce. I've heard it called the baby Salesforce, the free Salesforce. It is like one step down below Salesforce. So you're able to do a lot of lead management and opportunity management and marketing through HubSpot. And it's great for if your company, or if a company doesn't necessarily need the full functionality of Salesforce, doesn't have the budget for Salesforce, but could still use a CRM. So why would a Salesforce professional want to get HubSpot certified? Well, there's this niche little market that I like to think of as like the integration between the two, where oftentimes these companies are growing, and so they do need to move into Salesforce. They're ready to start paying for Salesforce because they have the budget or the need for it, or both, but they still have HubSpot. So there's a few different things that you could do. Is you could help them move from HubSpot to then Salesforce, or sometimes companies realize they don't need the whole functionality of Salesforce, and so you'll move from Salesforce to HubSpot, or they're going to use both and the functionalities of both until you're able to integrate the two. I think that this can be really useful. for a variety of different reasons. And there might be some room for growth as far as being like a CRM manager where you're managing multiple CRMs for a particular company. I've also heard that HubSpot certifications are far easier than Salesforce certifications, so you might be able to pick these up fairly quickly. Number 4 is going to be the CSM, Certified Scrum Master certification. So this is going to be a project management certification all about agile development. This one goes hand in hand with the Kapata certification and can help you if you want to move into a BA role or are in a BA role, or you want to move into a project management role. The Certified Scrum Master is actually a fairly quick certification to get. I believe there is just one main Certified Scrum Master certification. You can correct me down in the comments down below. But this one you can pick up in a weekend or a few weeks. I think that you do have to take it with an instructor, and so you can check that out on the CSM website. But I've known people to go ahead and get this in a long weekend, a holiday weekend, to be able to put that on their resume. Number 5 is going to be Tableau. So Tableau is one of those certifications where it's like kind of yes, it's a Salesforce certification because Salesforce owns Tableau, or kind of no, it's like its own thing, but there's just great integration with the two, which is why it kind of makes the list. Tableau is a data visualization software. It's really great because, like I said, Salesforce owns it, and so there's some really awesome integrations between the two. There are multiple certifications for Tableau. I think there's 5 currently that you could get. There's like an associate one if you want to have an experience like the Salesforce Associate or the AI Associate certification, but just for Tableau. Same with MuleSoft, which is not on this list. But these certifications are really great for someone who is more data focused, someone who wants to learn more about reporting, especially when it comes to different KPIs or key performance indicators. These are great for admins who want to know more about that or who are currently more data focused, and can help you leverage into a data analyst type role if that's what you want, or a Salesforce data type of person. Someone who knows both can expect to go into a larger organization and be able to use Tableau and Salesforce together, or go into a consulting type role where people need to understand what their data is telling them. There are a lot of freelance roles that will be focused on data visualization, so understanding their KPI, because reporting can be pretty tricky for someone who is just an accidental admin who doesn't necessarily have the time to learn all the ins and outs of data visualization or of manipulating data to answer questions. It's also a really crucial piece of Salesforce and of just any business function to understand the data, because you're going to be making a lot of decisions based upon your data, and companies and higher ups will be using data to make most of their decisions. So that is super important and super needed. So now those are the top 5-ish certification families that I would look towards getting when I was thinking about getting a Salesforce adjacent certification. Now there are a few other certification families that I would recommend that you look into that are honorable mentions on this list that maybe would make sense for you and would make sense for your job functionality. The first family in the honorable mentions is going to be Conga, which is a process automation tool that can be used to help speed up different processes with Salesforce. The Salesforce integration is pretty seamless, but this tool can be pretty complex. So if you are working for an enterprise company, or you are wanting to go into consulting, this might be a good one for you to pick up. Again, there's a family, so there's a few different certifications. And another honorable mention is going to be Google Cloud, which is similar to AWS, where it is more of a data storage thing. Google does have a free learning site where you can learn more about their Google certifications. So I would check that out if you wanted to research more into the Google Cloud certification. The final honorable mention here is going to be Slack. It is kind of one of those Salesforce adjacent tools that, like, it's kind of a Salesforce tool, but it's kind of not because Salesforce owns it. But Slack is a messaging software. I'm sure that you're familiar with it if you are looking at this. There are multiple Slack certifications, and I believe that the certification process is going to be fairly similar to how it is with Salesforce, as far as sitting down either proctored or online or on site. And so this one might be a good one for you to pick up, especially if you as a Salesforce admin are going to be the communications admin, where you are going to be setting up the Slack channels and who sees what and what permissions people are going to have and all that fun stuff. You can also have automations between Salesforce and Slack. So it can be a really, really great tool to learn and understand, just depending on what your job functionality is, what you're wanting to go into, and what your company currently uses. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to give it a like, subscribe. You can comment down below if I missed any Salesforce adjacent certifications that you think should be on this list. Tell me why, tell other people why they should get it, who should get it, and what it's good for. So thank you so much. I'll catch you guys in the next one.